first glance, many label it as horror. This movie may help the blues stay alive.
What the hell you know about the blues?
And I've been curious to talk about this scene since I walked out of the theater. And it's not just a scene, it's an experience, and it gave me actual goosebumps. Are you a musician or someone who deeply loves music? Then Sinners is a film you simply can't miss. Now let me be clear, this isn't a typical film review video. As a musician myself, I'm only going to tell you what truly moved me about this film, especially its music. At first glance, many label it as horror. Of course there's horror in it, but there's so much music woven into the story that if someone comes to me and says, hey, it's a musical, I wouldn't argue. Unlike other films where music elevates the story, Sinners elevates the music itself as a powerful force. Like the legendary blues musician Buddy Guy, who also acts in the movie, said, "This movie may help the blues stay alive." That one line speaks volumes. Blues isn't just a background here, it's the very soul of the film. This film is built on an intriguing myth that some musicians possess extraordinary powers, that their music can heal people, conjure spirits across time, and sometimes even attracts evil. Sammy, the main character, is one such musician whose father, being a preacher, wants him to give up his guitar for his own safety. But Sammy's love for music is so fierce that he's willing to battle any evil that comes across his journey. Now heads up, mild spoiler incoming, but the movie's been out for a while and I've been curious to talk about this scene since I walked out of the theater. There's a scene in the club where Sammy performs and his music gets so powerful that it brings musicians from the past and the future into the present, and this is the scene where the film gives us an breathtaking visual history of the African American music, starting from the rhythms played by the indigenous tribes, flowing into blues and then branching out into genres like hip-hop. Like I've said before, his music gets so powerful that it conjures spirits across time, bringing musicians from the past and the future into the present, shown to us through the eyes of the evil awaiting to take Sammy along with his skills. And it's not just a scene, it's an experience, and it gave me actual goosebumps. And looking at the crew, the film's soundtrack was composed by Ludwig Göransson, the composer of the Oppenheimer. From amalgamating amazing blues musicians, training the actors to play the instruments, and taking rigorous effect to retain only organic and natural music throughout the film's soundtrack, he's done an impressive job. Imagine there are 29 individual tracks in the film, and yet the film does not completely lean towards the musical genre. Written and directed by Ryan Coogler, yes, the Black Panther director, this film is another deep dive into the black culture. To me, he's shaping up to be the next Spike Lee. Sinners doesn't just showcase the beauty of the blues, it sheds light on the struggles of black musicians in America and how the roots of the blues trace all the way back to Africa.
Blues wasn't forced on us like that religion. We brought this with us from home.
What adds even more authenticity is that Miles Caton, who plays Sammy, is a real-life blues musician, and all the songs that you see him perform in the film is actually sung by him and no lip-syncing. Even the older Sammy is portrayed by the living legend Buddy Guy. That's rare, that's powerful. I've been in love with the blues music since the first time I heard it, and I believe this film will inspire a lot of young musicians who haven't explored the genre before. But beyond the blues, Sinners is a call to all musicians, regardless of your genre. If you ever felt like giving up or if you ever felt unseen, this movie will remind you to keep playing even if a dozen vampires show up to drain up your dreams. And one last thing, there's a line in the film that hit me really hard. Smoke, played by Michael B. Jordan, tells Sammy, "I've seen a lot of musicians, but I ain't met a happy one." That line really shook me. What do you think he meant by that? You can drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you haven't already, go watch Sinners in Netflix.